Hey everyone, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with a tabletop review of this CO2 BB Revolver, and this is the Gletcher CLT-B25. It's basically a 357 replica. Let's get right into some of the basic specifications. It's pretty much an all-metal design gun. It has, again, a 2.5-inch smoothbore barrel. This gun uses 12 gram CO2 cartridges, shoots 4.5 millimeter steel BBs, not 6 millimeter airsoft BBs. It has a 6-round cylinder that holds the brass loadable shells, and it weighs in at about 2 pounds or 905 grams. It also shoots in single and double action and has a claimed FPS of 328, which is about 100 meters per second. Again, it's a replica of the 357 Revolver. It's distributed by Gletcher, but made by KWC in Taiwan. It does come in this nice box, Gletcher style box with the orange on it. Right there you can see, Air Revolver, 18-month warranty, Gletcher products. The back, some more basic specifications. Power 3 joule roughly. Alright. Inside the box you of course get your manual. More specifications there. Information on how to load it, use the gun, aim it. Then we get into other languages. No need for that right now. You also get your speed loader for the 6 shells. So if you do get some additional shells, you can preload the speed loader up and quickly load the next 6 rounds. The shells did come in this little holder in the box. It's kind of nice. And of course you get your Allen key, right, for tightening up the CO2 on the bottom. Instead of having a tab hanging out, got the Allen key for that. So let's compare these two guns on the table here. Pretty much they look exactly the same. The reason for that is because one is basically the Gletcher version and one's the KWC version. And one happens to be airsoft, one happens to be BB. So other than one being airsoft with the slightly larger holes there in the front, you can see this is a slightly larger opening to accommodate airsoft versus steel BB. Other than that, and I guess the barrel size, they're the same gun because they're both made by KWC. So, you know, you'll have KWC markings on one and you'll have Gletcher stuff on the other, right? So, KWC version, pretty clean, not a lot of stuff going on, right? Again, really the same gun other than barrel size and shell size. So you can see the barrel openings a little bit smaller on the BB version, of course. Same with the shell size, right? A little more markings on the Gletcher. They got to put their branding on this gun. I guess you've got some other information here where it's made. Calibers there and a serial number right there. All right, so other than that, these guns are pretty much the same. Again, both made by KWC, just happen to be distributed by Gletcher in this case here. All right, let's do a quick walk around of the Gletcher CLT-B25. You can see we have the CLT-B25 markings here letting you know which gun it is, and of course we have our Gletcher branding, all right, military precision, Gletcher logo. Okay, we'll get into the mechanical stuff in a second. I just want to show you around. Here's the grips. They look like they're rubberized, but they're more plasticky, a little bit rough, but they do have the nice fingered textured grips, right? You've also got your pin here, so to open this up you just basically use that pin for ejecting rod, right? You can eject them out if you want to. Let's take a quick look at a shell here, right? So you load these shells in the front, put your BB in the front. Again, you could put them in the speed loader if you decide to. You can do that, right? 6 rounds. Now, it's hard to see a little bit, but there's normally would be a little bit of a gap there, and what's going on in this case is this little piece here is on like a spring, as you can see, and that creates a seal between the shell and the barrel. As they come around, it moves in and out, allows for the shell and the barrel to seal, which creates, you know, a better fit, more pressure, better performance overall. Your rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation. As you can see there, windage and elevation. You have your post front sight. Right, notch in the back. Single and double action, so there's double action, single action, and of course single action is going to be shorter and crisper. Double action is going to be a longer pull, a little heavier, but not bad considering you have this little bit of tension in there between the barrel and the cylinder and the actual rounds. There's a little bit of tension in there, but pretty nice. Let's take a look at the other side. Not bad for shooting, you know, obviously in both modes. Double action, you're going to be shooting a little quicker. Single action, you'd probably use to just space your shots out a little bit, maybe when you're shooting for accuracy. Again, there's your CO2. You just back this out, put your CO2 in there and screw it in with the Allen key. Pretty straightforward. Again, pretty much all metal gun, recessed barrel, right? There's your inner brass barrel. Nice gun overall. You do have a safety right here, right? Textured hammer. Texture in the back. Okay, seams aren't too bad on it, obviously. Take a look here. Really no seams to speak of, except for in the grips. Alright, I have already done the field test shooting video for this gun, so I'll put a link in here and in the description for you. Of course, this written review will be on my website over at replicaAirguns.com, so you can check that out along with additional photos and some more information potentially there for you. Now this gun does have a claimed 300 FPS roughly feet per second, so 328 or 100 meters per second. I did shoot just under 300 FPS when I tested it out. It wasn't very warm that day. It was back in May, and I got around 280 FPS, so the temperature wasn't super warm again. I would expect to get around 300, maybe a little bit over on a warmer day. Now I did shoot a pretty nice 2-inch group using 6 shots from the 6-round cylinder from about 30 feet back using a semi-rested position. Alright, let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. It's a revolver with actual shells, which gives you that feeling of loading and shooting a real revolver. Something we've kind of all grown to love with these shell loading revolvers that have come out recently in the last couple of years. The CLT-B25 also has a pretty much full metal build, so it's got good weight to it, lots of detail, it's well made, and the fit and finish are both really good. And even though it's the 2.5-inch barrel version, it still has a good overall weight. I mean, 2 pounds for such a small gun is a nice weight again. It does have that fully adjustable rear sight, has a well-hidden CO2 screw, also has that recessed barrel, which makes the gun look a little bit more realistic, like it's actually a larger caliber instead of a .177 or 4.5 millimeter. It also has nice trigger pull in both single and double action. So if you decide you just want to shoot kind of rapid fire or slow it down and be more precise, you can do that in either single or double action, depending on how you want to shoot. The CLT-B25 has those tactical fingered grips, which look really good and allow for a firm grip when you're holding this revolver. Alright, some of the cons. The grips are a bit rough, not as rubbery as they look. The grips also may be a bit large for some people who may have smaller hands. And the all black sights are not great on dark backgrounds. Would have been nice if maybe it had the white dots on it. And again, the FPS could be a little bit higher. Since it does have that 2.5-inch barrel, it is going to shoot a little slower than the longer barreled versions for sure. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. The username is Replica Airguns. Also check out my full written review for this pistol, where I'll have additional photos and some more information for you to check out. And of course there is that field test shooting video. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link in here again for that one. If you're interested in buying this Gletcher product in Canada, we do have our ReplicaAirguns.ca store where you can buy a variety of Gletcher products. We also have our Canada and US online stores where we sell BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.